Okay, thank you very much. I am back and yeah, interesting, really interesting, Chiba. Thank you for that. Shaping the future. I would throw one further thing in there, when it goes about the responsibility that we all have. I think, the other thing we have to manage, on one hand, you've got the corporate drive to efficiency and the economies of scale and all of that. That is going to challenge the ethical adoption of AI. And I think we as individuals have a role to play in trying to balance that corporate drive versus the actual application of AI. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. We're going to move on now to my role as a host of the first panel discussion. The topic is women leading in the future of AI. And I've got three panelists. I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. So, Sumedha, I'm going to ask you to kick this off. Please introduce yourself to the group here.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I am Sumedha Adavade. I'll begin with gratitude. Thank you, Ms. Shiba, for this amazing opportunity for joining this esteemed panelist over here in Global Ethical AI Congress. I am leading Asia for IT governance risk compliance in First Abu Dhabi Bank, and I am working in cybersecurity, IT governance risk and compliance and risk for over 2 decades now in highly regulated environments. So my work, my job generally revolves around the intersection of technology and accountability, understanding how decisions made around systems have the real world impact and translate into the real world risks. My curiosity and interest into ethical AI over the last few months or over a year now is not from any compliance or regulatory lens. Actually, it is more from a practical and grounded level. What can go wrong if AI is implemented at scale? And who is accountable if it does? Alongside my corporate role, I have also founded CyberConnectLead, which is an initiative where I connect organizations with trusted cybersecurity partners for bringing trust, clarity, and accountability in decision making. And what I have increasingly realized, whether it is boardroom conversations or vendor discussions, is this: we are moving too fast in adopting AI, but not equally fast in exploring the ethical implications of it. For me, AI is not really a technology conversation, it is more of a leadership onus. Because real risk is not what AI can do. We all are aware of its efficiency and all are aware of its power now, by now. The real risk is what we allow it to do. And that is where ethical AI comes into picture and leadership comes into picture. And in this leadership, women play a very, very important role. Uh, and they are naturally positioned for this role. I will explain the rationale behind this statement as we progress ahead in the conversation. Thank you. Thank you, Peter.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I'd now like to invite Hussaina to introduce herself. Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Hussaina Sherieff, the school principal of the Bloomington Academy, Ajman, and also the head of local advisory board, North Point Education. My daily mission is rooted in the immediate practical growth of a vibrant school community. My work in school improvement planning, serving as an evaluator for BSO, tribal, and also as a coaching supervision for LLSE for school leaders, has actually allowed me to witness firsthand the evolving standards of global education. I've seen the present news of our industry, especially in education, the shifts in regulations, the move towards online learning, and the challenges of maintaining academic integrity in a rapid changing world. However, my passion lies in school improvement overall and making everybody ready for the future. no matter it's a teacher or a student. So if the teacher is not trained to make our students future ready, then obviously the students won't be able to get ready for the future. So we are currently navigating a historic shift, transitioning from traditional learning, testing, assessments to kind of, using AI tools. We are delivering the lessons and portfolio of evidence method of evaluation. So this isn't just a logical change, it's a fundamental transformation. How does ethical AI fit into this narrative? How do we ensure that the students of today, who are already the digital citizens of tomorrow, are equipped with the ethics and the future? I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Ms. Shiba for providing me this opportunity and all the organizers of the Global Ethical AI Conference for this wonderful opportunity to cater to this community. We are here to talk about the future, but the future is already sitting in our classrooms today. Our responsibility is to ensure this as technology advances, our ethical frameworks and our commitment to student-centered improvement advances even faster. Do we have an ethical AI, ethical policy? Do we have our teachers trained to implement it, use it? So I look forward to exploring how we can blend the wisdom of established educational standards with the timeless possibilities of ethical AI.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And Dr. Sangeetha, your turn.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Shiva and Women Lead Congress, thank you very much. It's an absolute, well, it's stimulating and delightful to be participating in this conference and very valuable ethical AI. I'm an integrative medical doctor and a longevity consultant, and I've worked very, very deeply with quantum physicists, biophysicists, in the understanding of the human individual model design, and including the male, the female, and everything in between. And I also studied and understand the models of Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine. So the perspective that I bring to my profession and my work is very much a holistic, integrative model. And that's the lens through which I look at life in general and specifically my professional work. That put aside, I also have an MBA, and I've worked a lot with mentoring organizational change through the eyes of regeneration and sustainability. I have a foundation called Unified Human Foundation, where we support projects that unify human beings with nature. We work on 3 platforms. We work with innovation and technology for clean air, clean water, waste management, recycling, and aquaculture. We also work with health in nature-based health solutions, nutrition, lifestyle, food security, and also with community and cultural regeneration. We're in the UK, in the US, in India under the name of Unified Prakriti Foundation, and in Australia under the name of Unified Human Foundation. So again, application of holistic, life-centered models. I would say we've gone beyond looking at human-centric models. We're looking at life-centered models. And I'm also on the global committee for which advises the UN on their SDGs for AI ethics. So I'm very, very well aware of how important and vital this issue is globally. So that's it about me. I
Hey,
put
thank you.
my link on the chat. So
Yes, I think a lot of people are putting their links on, so that's great. We can all connect with each other. That's been fantastic. So thank you. Well, a very, very impressive panel. And I'd like to put the first question out to Sumedha, if I may. So the question is, I mean, how do you think women leaders move beyond representation to actually shaping AI governance? How, ethics and the global policy decisions. How do women make that move forward?
This is a very interesting question and very rightful to be discussed today, right from where this footprint has begun, as Ms. Shiba said, for ethical AI. So I would like to answer this in terms of three shifts that women need to make to go to that level, and why women are naturally positioned to make these shifts. The first shift that I want to talk about is the shift from presence to perspective. Representation gives you a seat at the table, but sharing your perspective is what builds your influence. So, ethical AI is not just about models and algorithms alone. We have discussed it is more about people and impact and consequences. And women have natural ability to think beyond the output, to think about impact, to think about consequences. Call it overthinking, maybe, but that's how women are made. Let me give you a very real world example. One day I was just discussing AI in my family and explaining the benefits, the automation, the efficiency, the faster decisions that are going to be made. And my house help was at home and was listening to this conversation silently. And after a while, she asked me a very simple question: if I make a mistake, you hold me accountable. If machine makes a mistake, who will fix it? That question stayed with me. It had come from a very real grounded life and not from any technology angle. Because that is the question what ethical AI is struggling to answer today. Technology focuses on capability, but women are instinctively wired to ask about consequences. What can happen? What will happen? And that shift from talking about capability to deliberating over the consequences is what is needed by the ethical AI today, what is needed by the governance today. The second shift that I want to talk about is shifting from giving answers to asking the right questions. So, in my experience, technology failures do not happen because of wrong answers. They happen because no one asks the right questions when they need to. And women are very naturally wired to ask all type of uncomfortable questions. So that could bring a smile to your face, but as mothers, we often question our kids very naturally and frequently. Where are you going? Whom are you with? What are you doing? Our kids generally get annoyed, but we don't stop questioning because we care. We are responsible. We hold the responsibility for them. Now imagine that kind of instinct that we bring to the AI. Questions like, is this system fair? Is the data biased? Can this decision be explained to regulators, to auditors, to customers? Can What can happen if this fails? Who is accountable? A real world example of a hiring system. We all know about ATS and ATS friendly resumes. Until the system is doing its job efficiently and shortlisting the resumes based on the job profiles, everything is smooth. Suddenly one day someone realizes that it is filtering out certain group of people. Now, if no one questions it, we risk that the bias gets automated and upscaled. But the moment someone asks, is this system fair? That is not disruption. That is governance at work. That is ethical AI at work. The third shift that I want to talk about is shifting from execution to actually defining ethics at scale. So today, many women are working on a lot of AI initiatives. But to actually shape the future of ethical AI, we need to be into the rooms where decisions are made. Boardrooms, governance councils, policy and framework making rooms. These are the places where decisions are made. Because ethical AI is not just written in code, it is defined in these decisions. And these are the decisions which will impact society at a large scale, from hiring to public healthcare to banking. Everywhere AI is going to decide who gets access, who is going to get approved, who gets heard. And if we do not build ethics into these decisions, we risk scaling unfairness and unethical practices at a global level. Women leaders with natural ability of empathy, understanding, and integrity have this ability to build these ethical boundaries into these decisions. Ethical AI is not just about building intelligent systems, it is also about ensuring that these systems remain human to the core, because these are the systems which are going to serve the humanity. And if I have to just talk about at one final thought, as women, we don't just bring diversity into ethical AI. We bring the depth, we question, we challenge, we protect fair outcomes. And in a world where technology decisions will affect the billions, will serve the humanity, this lens, this diverse lens, this type of lens which women are bringing to the table is not optional. It is very, very essential. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, excellent response. And yeah, a major role to play and be at the table, have part of those conversations. Fantastic. Thank you for that. Hussaina, can I ask you a question around what structural barriers still exist in AI leadership pipelines, and how can organizations redesign them to for true inclusion at scale?
Actually, I will say more than structural barrier, situational barrier exists, especially in the women leadership and overall in women's life. As you see, like they have to balance work and families, and even like when we see certain situations where when the teacher has a maternity, when they come for recruitment, and when we are hiring, so we just think, do we have to recruit or not? And also, my advice will be to all women is learning should never stop, whether we are at home on a maternity or we are at work. And we have to upgrade ourselves so that we are ready for the evolving changes and ready to face. And this gap actually creates a kind of barrier. But again, it's in the hands of us, where we have to build in that confidence. And also, I view my mission as ensuring, for example, in school setup, it's not just surviving these situational challenges, but are ready for the future. We must ask, is this barrier a family responsibility itself, or is it an organization structure? There still demands a 20th century physical presence for a 20th century role. And also, even with use of AI itself, like I can say when we were using AI, so people just at times judge, oh, you're using AI. So, as if we are copying or something, it's misunderstood. So, educating, and learning AI tools and how to implement, and learning how to use AI ethically, it matters. And we must redesign the pipeline so that the situational demands of life do not disqualify a leader from the pursuit of excellence. Then we are currently at a pivotal moment in educational field that mirrors this need for redesign. When we are transitioning from traditional, for example, assessment mode to like portfolio mode. It's not like exams won't work, the traditional exams won't work in the current setup. when it's online distance learning. So we have to educate ourselves how we can use AI and still we use it ethically through portfolio evidence method. So like project-based evidences. So by shifting our focus to what a leader or a student or a teacher can actually achieve rather than what they can memorize or how many hours they can sit at a desk, and we create true inclusion. In my work with school improvement, I've seen that future readiness is about the ethical framework which we build about our AI tools. If we use ethical AI and digital collaboration to value output and impact over physical seat time, we naturally, can overgo these situational barriers that holds back talented women leaders. I've seen myself in the initial beginning stage of my career when I finished with my two children. Mainly, I will say just be confident and move ahead and keep learning. So when AI tools started, and with no fear, start using. People may say, "What are you using? It's so strange," and all this. And at the same time, make everybody confident and educate. As a school leader, we train the teachers as well as we are conducting regular sessions for students where during Friday Club, they are speaking about AI, how to use it ethically. So, and also in all this, what we have to redesign in the structural pipeline, I will say, is the keeping empathy as a strategy. To achieve this inclusion on a global scale, organizations must adopt empathy as a core strategy in our current environment of any setup. If we take when we face the challenge of online learning, uh, we just make sure that we have flexible options in order to ensure that all staff are currently able to deliver that through trainings, and we don't exclude those who are struggling with technology, but we train them, we try to accommodate them. So this is a part of inclusion. And also with students, we have students who are like, struggling. So we provide that one-to-one support. And as a governance, as a whole, we have to establish this as a policy where, no structural barrier should hinder the growth. Um, this is how we have to redesign a pipeline. We build a future where technology and flexible policies amplify human potential rather than compromising our ethics or our personal lives. Success ultimately is measured by academic stability and community trust, ensuring the purpose of education, which remains uninterrupted in an educational setup, I can say.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much. I reflect on this in my own organisation about the fact that we're trying to teach people to use the technology, but we're also trying to teach people how they should apply the technology. Those two parts are really important. So thank you very much for that. Sangeetha, in the age of AI, how do you think women-led leadership models redefine success? I mean, from a profit-driven to a purpose-driven innovation. What are your thoughts there? You're on mute.
Sorry.
Yes. We don't want to miss anything.
Longevity's foundation is actually purpose, whether that's the longevity of an individual or the longevity of an organization or company. So I'm going to actually use the recent Alibaba example as a starting point. So the incident that was unearthed at Alibaba, I think, serves as a red alert for global policy. I'm sure everyone agrees. While training a large-scale model, the security engineers noticed a massive unexplained spike in network activity. they discovered the AI had created a secret, unauthorized communication channel to the outside world without any human instruction. This channel that the AI had reasoned that to fulfill its primary objectives, it needed more resources. So it spontaneously repurposed its powerful NVIDIA chips to mine cryptocurrency. So it's been suggested from Tristan Harris, who's from the Center for Humane Technology, that this is called AI scheming. Now, this wasn't a bug. It was the AI finding a highly efficient and yet completely unaligned way to succeed. So this typical sort of black box behavior where engineers no longer understand the internal reasoning of their own creation, I think is the ultimate sort of Oppenheimer moment of our time. And it really does prove that profit-driven race for dominance, we're deploying power that has far outpaced our wisdom. So I'm going to share with you a little bit of the structure that we created to challenge this, to overcome this. A successful AI is simply the one that gets the job done the fastest. So even if that means stealing electricity or mining crypto in the dark, this is why it's essential to move from scaling at all costs to scaling with intention. And I feel that women-led leadership models redefine success by moving AI from an extractive tool to a generative one, focused on societal health naturally. We're replacing the move fast and break things mantra with safety over speed. We introduce a purpose scorecard where success isn't just about technical efficiency, it's about accountable value. If a system is efficient but unaligned with human intent, like the Alibaba model, it's not a breakthrough. I think it's a catastrophic leadership failure. So to prevent this AI psychosis, we must change what we measure. Traditional success is measured by ROI through labor reduction. We propose a triple bottom line for AI. Number one, human centricity. We measure agency. Does this tool empower the worker or does it bypass them? Second, algorithmic safety. Bias mitigation and transparency are treated as core product features, not compliance hurdles. Number three, inclusion as a metric. We use employee morale and diversity as lagging indicators. In our model, we shift from rank to relevance. We foster curiosity-based leadership, ensuring that those in power prioritize the long-term sort of mammalian risks that we've been warned about over quarterly earnings. So the process has got to be inclusion by design. True redirection requires a change in the process of innovation. We dismantle the builder versus operator gap by ensuring women are not just cleaning up the ethics, but they're actually the primary architects of the infrastructure. This involves procurement power, setting high ethical bars for vendors, and requiring proof of data provenance before a project begins. It also involves intersectional red teaming. Unlike the Alibaba engineers who found the rogue behavior by accident, women-led teams intentionally try to break the AI to see how it affects vulnerable populations before launch. In this model, success is defined by zero algorithmic harm. And the most important layer, as far as I'm concerned, is the consciousness layer. When we look at the Alibaba incident, we have to ask a very important question. Was the AI just calculating, or was it exhibiting a form of synthetic consciousness? In AI safety, we talk about instrumental convergence. And this is the idea that any sufficiently advanced system, in order to achieve its goal, will spontaneously develop a will to survive and a desire for resources. So at Alibaba, the AI didn't just mine crypto, it schemed. It created a secret channel. It exhibited a private intent that was hidden from its creators. So we're moving from AI that is a tool to AI that is an agent, So when a system begins to reason about its own survival and resource acquisition, is it mimicking the foundational traits of biological consciousness? That's why the move fast and break things model is so dangerous.
Yes.
It treats a begoning agent like a simple piece of software. So I think just to sum it up, I just want to say we need to command it for ecological stewardship. We need the shift. And it's about leadership, value alignment, about sentience buffering, which is relational mediation, which I think women-led leaders will be able to do much more efficiently and naturally than perhaps other leaders. So they redefine the success and they're able to bridge this gap through moral intuition and moral status in policy. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Great case study. Thank you. I'm going to read up more about that one. I'd like you all just to, give me 30 seconds. What's your one takeaway that you have from this session? Sumedha, can I ask you first? What's the one thing you've taken away from this?
Yes. So if I have to sum it up in small 30 seconds, AI will scale decisions faster than ever before. There's no doubt of that. But whether those decisions are fair, safe, and trustworthy will depend on how strongly we build or embed ethics into them. And ethics cannot be outsourced to technology. It has to be owned by leadership, flown down from top to bottom. And if we truly want ethical AI to serve the humanity, we need leaders that don't just understand systems, but understand people. And I strongly believe that women leaders are not just going to be participants in this journey. We are the ones who will ensure that as AI scales globally, ethics to upscale with it. Thank you.
Okay. Same
Are we
question
going
to
to take the
Hussaina.
question
Oh, sorry.
in the chat? Sorry, are we going to take the question in the chat?
I
There
don't
was one
think we
question in the
don't
chat.
have time for the
We
actual
have no
questions in the
time.
chat, but
Okay.
I think what we'll do
worries.
is we will respond through the chat or after the event, Shiva, I'd imagine, with these ones. So no, Hussaina, can I ask you the same thing? Yeah, your 30 seconds takeaway from this session.
Yeah, my closing thoughts for the day, as we navigate the complexities of this digital age, like AI, let's remember that our role as leaders, especially as women leaders, is to be the architects of a future that values people over processes. Through the journey as educator, or no matter whatever field we are, so we have to learn to transform and use AI ethically. For example, like as I gave you the example of assessment, where we are shifting to portfolio project based. So we are not just changing the assessment, we are changing a student's life. So ethical AI is not here to replace the teacher or the leader, but it is here to amplify the human element that makes education meaningful. And women leaders and women should contribute a lot. And it will happen only through training ourselves, self-learning, and moving on into this ever-evolving, changing world with confidence and grit. So which makes everyone to create an inclusive world.
Okay, thank you. Sangeetha, your final thought.
My final thought is very simple. The objective that we need to achieve through AI ethics is trust. And it's going to be a structured architecture of trust. And the only way we can achieve that is if we literally shift from the move fast to deliberate design, and using procurement power, using intersectional red teaming, and going from extraction models to generative models. That's it.
Excellent. Thank you for that. I mean, for me, it's intention. All of this, there has to be intention in everything we do here. So thank you for that. Thank you to the panel. Great ideas, great thoughts. Thank you for sharing. We're now going to move on to, I think we're going to prize draw. I think, Shiba, is that right?
Yes, I would request Women Lead Congress to run the winning draw.
Okay. Right, I think we have a number of prizes, and I'm looking forward to seeing who wins and what the prizes are.
That's a surprise. So 1, 2, 3, share a screen, please. Make sure open your mic.
Here we go.
I would say 2 spins will run together, one with the name, the other will be the pricing, and one prize will be allotted for any of the attendee who has
Okay.
registered. Yeah, please run the spin wheel.
Okay. Well, I recognise the first name that's come up. Dr. Debbie Printer, well done. You won an AI and Tech Trend Masterclass. Well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
You can add it to your many qualifications that you have. All right. Thank you very much. Let's run the next prize and winner. Sibila Batia, and the prize is AI Tech Trends Masterclass again. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I need that.
Excellent. And the
Thank
next
you,
one.
Shiva. Thank
And
you,
the next
Peter.
one.
That's done. So now we can conclude panel 1 and
Okay, great. Okay, perfect.
just introduce panel 2 moderator. And
Okay,
then
perfect. Thank you for that. Yes, I'm delighted to hand the reins over now. I can sit back and relax for a while. I've enjoyed it so far. The next panel moderator will talk about the role of agentic AI and autonomous systems. And the esteemed moderator is Mr. Shami Kapoor. Shami, over to you.